Hello, everybody. I've been on a mission this winter, and it's all about decluttering my mind, soul, and home. I hope you get inspired, learn a few things, and get to share some motivation for this season. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, because of pregnancy, morning routines have shifted for a better cause, and before, I was the one to always wake up first. But now, sometimes I'm the one to wake up last. It is beautiful to enter a transition of life feeling okay with slowing down, understanding that rhythm within nature we actually seek, and also being able to analyze what God has wanted for us is just perfect for this time. A Bible verse that has been helping me through this transition, Colossians 3:15, and it says, "Let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts, for as members of one body, you're called to live in peace and always be thankful." For me, to be reminded that the peace I'm living in is thanks to Christ, and when I feel shattered, I can always be thankful and remember who has written my story. This year has been a lot of surrendering, and with that comes learning to release control. It's not about losing, but rather understanding that one may have many plans, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. I've spent so many years trying to control things that weren't just simply in my control. This year, I've felt the conviction to cleanse our house. Really cleanse. Get in there deep, open the corners that have been stored shut with things I can't even remember, and so on. This house that has supported us for the past 3 years is not perfect, but this is what God has entrusted us to administer for this perfect moment of His. I started to notice that by trying to control what I owned, I lost control of how many things I had. From owning a business, being a first-time mother, finds that I thought were a bargain at some point, things that people gave me thinking I would use them, and as time went by, I just simply found myself in this small apartment with so many things to repair and a clutter of things I couldn't even begin to mention. With prayer and conviction, it has taken me this whole lots of 12 months to get where I am today, and I can still see how much there's left to do. But I started to understand that the mess I was living in, it was just not my home, but my mind and my soul, leading to the obvious representation of the body and where we lived. Okay, so within the joys of winter and slowing down, obviously it got much darker, much quicker than during the summer. So I'm just gonna call it a night. I'm gonna organize some things, put the things under the nation bags, and divide what I'm going to be using and saving for Amela, our baby girl. So yeah, that should do it, and that should clear up lots of the mess. And right here, my plan is to be able to put all of this in the closet, so we can take this down and put the desk for the toys and things like that. It's like a small library thing, so for the toys and books, and that would help us a lot. In Matthew 6, it says, "For our treasures are not on earth, but in heaven." Yet if we're able to value, protect, and treasure our hearts, then we can be responsible with the things that the Lord has entrusted us with. Here are some things I've learned about. Decluttering of the mind. How are our thoughts carrying us, or are we carrying our thoughts? Number 2, I did a detox from social media apps, and for me, I took Facebook off because it really doesn't give me anything. So I started to analyze what I was consuming versus being consumed by. While I was cleaning, I also made sure to get into those drawers that were left alone. I started to take out clothes that were just simply are not up to my standards anymore. So we have been since summer on the transition of trying to wear sustainable clothing, such as using fabrics of linen and cotton. So it has been a slow transition, especially because we haven't really invested in getting new clothing. But I do hope that for the future we'll be able to get there. I started in my little girl's room first with all the clothing, and I just try to put this library down so I was able to have that space. And now that we have a baby coming, then I really wanted to get intentional into making every little bit of her room more spacious, more clear, to actually have the space to organize our new baby's things that are coming on the way. So as for our room, I think we had so many things messed around with, and my husband just likes to get things and store them wherever he finds a little bit of space. So I took all of that clutter out. I went into those drawers that were shut for such a long time, and they had a lot of dust. They had a lot of things that I didn't actually really use, and because I knew that I was not gonna use them, I just put them in this space that I thought I was never gonna see them again. But little did I know that for the years that it has been there, it was better to take them away right away. So I took out the clothing that were no longer fitting for me, and that I am going to be able to use them when I get through my postpartum. I stored them in this bag. Then I took all the clothing that I'm not going to be using anymore, and I put them into this donation bin. The bathroom is pretty neat. I just had to organize some things and re-put things that were not in its place. And then we have the homeschooling area. We use this a lot. I just wanted to make it as clean as possible. I thought that by decorating, I thought I was gonna have more of my girls' attention, but I found not. So I just took out the things. They're just simply not serving us. Then we have the dining area, and because we have moved so many things from here, it was really interesting to find ourselves with the most mess in this part, and it is the one that it seems like we have less stuff in it. What I take from this is that everything has to have a room. Everything has to have its house. It has to have its corner, and that it's meant for that to be there. Because if it's not meant to be there and you're just trying to find things to put it in, it's just gonna be as messy, and it's just gonna keep cluttering again and again. So it can be in a matter of a day or hours that you will find the same mess again. So I made sure that every little thing that we use in our kitchen and in our dining area and in my little office that is also there, I made sure that absolutely everything had its place. So my husband was helping me cook while I cleaned, and it was such a beautiful thing to have him. He worked during the day, so he was just helping me out in the afternoon with all of this. So it was really nice to have that help, because I was able to focus only in cleaning, and definitely it would have been a very different story in a matter of more days of cleaning and such. Another thing I tackled was my office area, and I just made sure that the printer that we quite use often was not like I often find it that it's just in the middle of everything. So I try to put this. I think it needs a little bit more work with the cables and stuff, but little by little I'm getting there. I made sure that everything that I had was working in the drawers of the desk. And I found this bag of like jewelry that I had no idea I had. So I called my mom, that she knows a lot about jewelry, and I was like asking her, and like just like, do you think I should keep this and that? And funny enough, it was all her jewelry that she passed on to me, and I didn't remember, so I have no idea how long it has been. Then after we finished, I called it a night, and I lit up our candlelight and enjoyed a little Christmas tree and just winding down. If you're having questions on if you're right about the things that you have, ask yourself, how peaceful does your house feel with the things that you currently own? Now, on the last day, we tackled all our walls. So I had so many things that were just simply hanging, and we found that we had just so much dust and things over our walls, probably because we haven't had cleaned it in a while, but also because we had so many things we didn't even want it to look over. So I took a broom and I just started to clean the walls with soapy water, and it helped a lot with the dust. And I just took art that I made when I was like much younger, stickers that my daughter had put in all over the place in the house. My daughter helps out a lot in our chores throughout the day, so I made her clean all the things that she like progressively around the time put really dirty, and I didn't have the motivation to clean it. So she actually did it, and it was really nice. We model a lot on teamwork for our kid, and it's because also like if the Lord teaches us to be responsible with the things that we have, and I also want her to do that as well. So all her toys and all her things, she actually takes responsibility over them, because if I can entrust her with toys, then she can also be responsible for that. And I think like now we actually sat down and we put all the toys that she didn't want to play with anymore, so we can give it to other kids that do not have. We moved around our bedroom because I wanted to change it. I wanted this fresh space of just clean and more intentional, and not just like we just randomly put everything together. So everything feels so good, so pretty, so just so spacious, and like a home, like a cozy home that we're able to create more lasting memories in it until we get a new place. And it feels good because it doesn't matter where you are now, with the little things that you have, you can do so much. And I think that's what I take the most from this winter decluttering, is that less is more. And whenever I want to ever bring back another piece into my home, I want to think about, like, is this gonna serve my family? Is this gonna take me closer to God? Is this going to actually make a change in my house? And I want to be really mindful of that, because sometimes by wanting to have control, we lose it. So what does your home look like? Because if your home is a reflection of what your heart and your mind is carrying, then it is so important that you get down in prayer and ask the Lord to show you what needs to be transformed. Your home is supposed to bring joy, peace, and the fear of the Lord in it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it really nice, and I hope you liked spending a little time with my family. I hope you're having an amazing winter. I'll be seeing you soon.